ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Welcome to Sports Tuesday. Are you ready for some football? Yes, the National Football League has already started, but the Commonwealth American Football League will provide fans the same hard-hitting action with a number of plays drawn up. The local league is set to start.
This year, we are hoping that the season will get off without any type of challenges of hurricanes or weathers. There's a weather out there right now that we are hoping the steering current steers it away. But we are scheduled for October the 28th to start. Teams are in camp. They are practicing, readying themselves for October the 28th. So that's what we're looking forward for this year. Hopefully to have a very competitive, successful season for the CAFL.
A number of yellow flags were tossed out even before play got started last season. As a result, the league saw a drastic decline in teams.
Love to travel in Freeport this year, but Freeport has also had some challenges. I guess they're still recruiting from last year. So we still have the basic 4 teams here in Nassau. However, we did actually have some teams and persons in Freeport who have expressed interest in wanting to form a team, but it's rather late in the season, so we're looking at next year for Freeport and Abaco. We've also had a team in Turks and Caicos who has been interested in wanting to join the CAFL, but it's late in the game now, so we're putting that on for next season. Hopefully, we'll have maybe 8 teams next year.
Even though there's only 4 teams, President Tony Maycock is expecting a good season.
We basically have scheduled right now for Saturdays rather than Sundays. Sundays we don't want to compete with the NFL because a lot of persons, players and fans actually, want to watch NFL games. So right now we have it just scheduled for Saturdays.
Philip Dorsett is settling in with the New England Patriots. The wide receiver had a big game on Sunday, running for a total of 68 yards over 3 receptions. The Patriots routed the New Orleans Saints 36-20. They are now 1-1 on the season and will look to continue their winning streak on Sunday at home against the Texans. Our men's national softball team playing another doubleheader yesterday at their CAC and Pan Am qualifier in the Dominican Republic. We get an update from Julian Gibson in this report brought to you by Rubas Bahamas Limited.
The early games have really been plaguing Team Bahamas. For the 2nd day in a row, came out flat against Canada. Simply too many errors in the ball game for the 2-4-2. And Canada bats was simply hot, especially Kyle Colwick. He crushed 2 home runs, the Bahamas losing 8-1. Too many mistakes.
We just didn't keep the momentum going after the first inning, after giving up that 1 run. I feel as if the key mental mistakes really caused us to game.
Well, we started off early, 8:30. We've been up from like 6 o'clock. Trying to get used to the playing around that kind of time. 1 or 2 errors cost us early on.
First inning, started out center field with an error, then everybody made a bundle of errors in the key, a very important 2nd inning.
Yeah, that hurt us a bit. But as the game went on, we started to pull it together. Unfortunately, we still lost.
On the 2nd game on Monday, Team Bahamas would bounce back strong, especially Sherman Ferguson. He crushed 2 monster home run shots, 1 in the 2nd inning and the 2nd blast taking place in the 5th. Bahamas blanking Belize 7-0 behind the pitching of the young man from Abaco. That's right, Lyle Sawyer getting the job done.
Yeah, I just got a little comfortable out there on the mound and got a little comfortable with my catcher, and we settled in and threw strikes and had the ball moving, and he was all right.
Satisfied with the run support, especially Sherman here today?
Oh, yeah. Can't hit much better than he can. He's the best hitter we got in the Bahamas, and he did his job today to put us ahead.
So the Bahamas record now stands at 2-2 after 4 games of competition. In Santo Domingo, in the Dominican Republic, reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Julian Gibson.
Thank you so much, Julian. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture has been known to throw grand celebrations for our athletes who excel at the Olympic Games and World Championships. As it stands right now, nothing has been done for our medalists and finalists at this year's IAAF World Championships. Director of Sports Tim Munnings gives this update.
Right after the competition, when we tried to find out when they would be home, the team members were all traveling in different directions. Not sure when they were coming back. Both Shaunae and Stephen went on to the Diamond League competitions. So it's very hard to coordinate the team's arrival. We celebrated before with partial members of the team, and some of the other members that weren't able to be a part of that didn't feel too good about that, and we didn't want anyone to feel left out. We wanted to recognize the whole team because, you know, it's not about one person, it's about team performance. So we're hoping that we have an excellent time when all of them will be home, that we can celebrate during the National Sports Awards, which is slated for November of this year. We had it last year, and this year there's so much sporting events which happened. We think this is an ideal time not only to recognize Stephen and Shaunae and Tainia, but we have the athlete that won the first medal in Carifta Judo, in Commonwealth Youth Games Judo. We hosted and won Carifta Judo, water polo, Carifta swimming, FIFA beach soccer, IAAF World Relays. There's so many competitions and athletes that have been performing out there that, I mean, instead of celebrating one person here and one person there, bring everybody together, have one grand celebration and recognize everybody's achievement.
Olympic gold medalist Shaunae Miller-Uibo is not afraid to step out of the box, or in this case, the line. The young national record holder attempted a double at the recently held World Championships this summer. Even though she fell short, tripping in the 400-meter final and capturing a bronze in the 200 meters, she's ready to do it all over again.
For me, I want to be the best athlete that the sport has ever seen, and so for that to happen, I have to take leaps and I have to take, different steps, and so that was definitely one of them. Like I said, I really enjoyed myself. We really trained hard for it. I'd rather get it out the way while I'm young rather than, having to focus on it when I get a little bit older and, my body's moving a little bit slower. So, the main thing for me was just to go there, have some fun. I did have fun with it, and we're definitely going to attack it again in 2019. And, hopefully things fall into place by then.
The Bahamas Government Departmental Basketball Association with doubleheader action last night at the A.F. Hartley Gym. Jared Higgs was courtside.
In the first game, it was the Cybots taking on Sandilands. The Cybots dominating this one so much that Sandilands barely played any defense. The Cybots ended up having to defend themselves. This comical contest ending by a final score of 117-54. Cybots coach Wade Watson says despite today's game, this is a tough week for the team.
We haven't played in about maybe 5 weeks, so it's good coming off the long rest to play against a team like Sandilands, so you get your win at least and try to get some kind of rhythm going. But we got 2 tough games this week, so I guess this is a catalyst of where we want to be.
Game 2 would be a much more interesting battle as the Defence Force Patrollers took on the Police Royals. Fast forward to 36 seconds left, Royals down by 4. This 3-pointer would bring the Royals to within 1 point. The Patrollers would hit 2 free throws to go up by 3 with just seconds left on the clock. The Royals take the ball down the court, put up a 3-pointer, banking it in, and the foul. They would make the ensuing free throw to go up by 1. Last chance for the Patrollers. That won't go, and neither will the follow-ups. Police Royals winning this one in thrilling fashion, 59-58. The winning coach, Marino Hines, says it was a crucial victory.
We're in a battle for our playoff lives. That game took us over 500, and so what we want to do is just play consistent basketball the rest of the way, so that if we win 1 or 2 more games, we're into the playoffs and we're able to make some noise in the playoffs.
Leading scorer for the Royals was Chevy Simmons with 18 points. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Jared Higgs.
Thank you so much, Jared. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Kelsey Johnson.